Hello, my friends, and welcome back to English Unleashed. This episode is specially designed for upper, intermediate learners. Those of you who can already communicate in English, but want to move to the next level of fluency, independence, and confidence. I'm glad you're here, because today we're discussing a challenge many learners face, the strong belief that to truly become fluent in English, you must have a speaking partner. Perhaps you've thought this yourself. If only I had a native speaker to practice with, then I would finally speak English. It sounds logical, doesn't it? Language is about communication, so it makes sense to think you need someone on the other side of the conversation. But here's the thing. That belief is a misconception. A misconception is simply a mistaken idea or wrong assumption, and this particular one has held back and disappointed thousands of learners. The truth is, you don't need another person to practice English with every single day. In fact, you can develop fluency entirely on your own. Independent practice you do by yourself, can actually be more powerful because you control the pace, speed, topic, and focus. You're not waiting for someone else. Now, let's pause and think about why traditional methods often fall short, especially for people learning on their own. Why? Fall short. I mean, they don't quite deliver what you really need or want. Maybe you've attended a language class where 20 students take turns, and you only get to speak for 2 minutes. Maybe you had a speaking partner who was friendly, but didn't correct your mistakes, so you repeated them again and again. Or perhaps you relied on occasional conversations online, which gave you nice moments of practice, but not the repetition needed to grow. These methods can leave you feeling stuck because fluency is built by speaking consistently, again and again, every single day until the words become natural. So, what is the alternative? What can you do instead? The answer is self-directed practice. Self-directed means you take the lead. You become the guide and the leader. Once you guide yourself, you can create a fluency system that runs every day without depending on a class schedule or a partner's availability. You can practice anytime you want. One of the most powerful tools I recommend is what I call the inner conversation method. It's a big phrase, but it simply means talking to yourself out loud. This is where you take your thoughts, the ideas already inside your mind, and turn them into English words. For example, imagine you're cooking breakfast. Instead of cracking eggs in silence, narrate what you're doing out loud, almost like telling a story. I'm cracking the eggs. The pan is heating up. I think I will add some cheese. By narrating your actions, you bring your inner thoughts to life in English and become the storyteller of your own daily life. Another way to use the inner conversation method is by responding to content. When you watch a news video, don't just passively absorb the information. Instead, talk back to it as if the presenter asked for your opinion. Well, I don't completely agree with that. From my point of view, the situation is more complicated. By answering the screen, you simulate a dialogue. It may not be real, but it trains your brain to respond quickly, just as if it were. Then there are self-dialogues, which are especially effective. A self-dialogue is when you play both roles in a conversation. It might feel unusual at first, but it works beautifully. You can practice arguments, explanations, or storytelling. For example, pretend you're explaining a movie to a friend. So, The main character wants to escape the city, but he doesn't have enough money. By rehearsing both sides, you practice the natural rhythm of English conversation without needing a partner. Of course, technology today makes all of this even easier. We now have AI conversation partners such as ChatGPT. Imagine it's midnight and you suddenly want to practice ordering food in a restaurant. With AI, you can do it instantly. No need to wait for tomorrow's class or schedule a session. And let's not forget personalized learning paths. Personalized means tailored or designed just for you. Many apps now analyze your progress and suggest what you need to practice next, so you don't waste time repeating material you already know. Instead, you focus on the areas that will push you forward and help you improve. Now, let's talk about your daily fluency blueprint. A blueprint is like a plan or program you can follow. The truth is, your plan doesn't have to be complicated. Even just 15 minutes a day of focused, consistent practice can transform your fluency over time. Think of it like physical exercise. You don't build strength by going to the gym once for 3 hours and then stopping. You build strength by exercising a little regularly over weeks and months. The same principle applies to English. So, what might this daily routine look like? In the morning, as you get ready, narrate your actions. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm choosing what to wear today. In the afternoon, listen to a short podcast or video, and then talk back to it, adding your own opinion. In the evening, practice a short self-dialogue, pretending you're telling someone about your day. Today I was busy. First, I had to do this, then I had to do that. In this way, you speak English 3 separate times during the day without needing anyone else. Here's a powerful tip: track your progress. Tracking means keeping a record of what you do. You can record your voice once a week and save it. At first, you'll hear mistakes, but after weeks and months, when you compare your recordings, you'll notice clear progress. This is incredibly motivating and gives you the energy to keep moving forward. That brings us to the long-term vision. Fluency isn't something you reach in one big leap. It's something you build piece by piece, like building a house. Brick by brick, word by word, sentence by sentence. If you keep showing up daily, even with small efforts, you will create something permanent and powerful. So, to return to the central question of today's episode, do you really need a partner to speak English every day? The answer is no. You can absolutely unlock fluency on your own. What you need are the right methods: the inner conversation method, self-dialogues, and narrating your daily life. You need the right tools, such as AI partners like ChatGPT, and above all, you need consistency and a clear vision of where you are going. Remember, every time you speak out loud in English, you're strengthening your fluency muscle. You don't need to wait for permission or a partner. You already have everything you need to begin right now. If you found this episode useful, here is my challenge to you. Right after this podcast, speak out loud. If you don't agree with what I said, say it out loud. That's completely okay. Summarize what you learned in your own words. Try a short self-dialogue, or narrate the next thing you do. Start your daily solo fluency journey now, because the best partner you could ever have is actually yourself. Thank you for joining me today on English Unleashed. I'm Ben, and until next time, keep listening, keep learning, and keep believing in yourself. Bye for now.